Coming up on Mountain News at 5:30, West Virginia has filed a lawsuit against a pharmacy benefit organization over the opioid crisis. Plus, employers and job candidates alike are taking advantage of AI during the job application process.
Highs today, we're back into the upper 80s and low 90s. Now we're going to cool off and we're going to increase rain chances. Details coming up.
Dedicated to southern and eastern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News at 5:30.
Good evening, I'm Caroline Mueller. Highs today were in the 80s and 90s, but a slight cool down is right around the corner. First Alert meteorologist Eric Dean has our first look at the forecast tonight. Eric.
Tell you what, Caroline, it's going to feel more like fall as we go into this time next week. We're talking temperatures in the mid-70s. Right now we're seeing plenty of sunshine, a little bit of cloud cover on Buffalo Mountain. Temperatures right now in the 80s and 90s. Look at Somerset, 97 degrees. We're at 97 in Monticello, 93 Williamsburg, 90 in London. Irvin's at 94, 92 in Prestonsburg. But you factor in that feels like temperature. Look at Monticello. Ouch. 112 degrees. We're at the Century Mark in Somerset, 94 Irvin, 91 Jackson, 93 in Pikeville. Now, live pinpoint Doppler radar. Clean sweep in eastern Kentucky, but you don't have to go too far to see shower and storm activity. Look over towards Hamilton County near Cincinnati, over towards portions of Jennings and Ripley County in Indiana, back down south of Evansville, seeing some shower and storm activity as we speak. Tonight, though, all is quiet. We'll see plenty of sunshine by the 8 o'clock time frame. Temperatures will be in the mid to upper 80s, low 80s, even upper 70s by the time you join us tonight for the 11 o'clock newscast. Now, rain chances are in the forecast, as well as cooler temperatures. We'll talk about that coming up in the First Alert forecast in a few minutes. Caroline.
All right, sounds good, Eric. Thanks. Two men convicted in the killing of a Bardstown mother, Crystal Rogers, will not learn their prison sentence until next month. Crystal's boyfriend at the time she disappeared, Brooks Hawk and Joseph Lawson, will now be sentenced on September 17th. They were supposed to learn their punishment on Thursday. The judge in the case says the court moved the date because Joseph Lawson has been dealing with serious health problems. The jury recommended Lawson to serve 20 years in prison, while Hawk spend life in prison. A third man convicted in the case, Joseph Lawson's father, Stephen, was sentenced to 17 years in prison earlier this month. The Justice Department is set to turn over records related to Jeffrey Epstein this week. House Oversight Committee Chair James Comer says his panel should start receiving documents on Friday. This comes after the committee subpoenaed the Department of Justice for records. The panel also subpoenaed 10 witnesses to testify on the case. Former Attorney General Bill Barr told the committee on Monday that Epstein died by suicide and there was no foul play. Governor Andy Beshear is banning selling the drug that Attorney General Russell Coleman has called designer Xanax. The drug, called bromazolam, is no longer legal in Kentucky. Attorney General Coleman says it is dangerous and unpredictable and linked to nearly 50 deaths in the Commonwealth. With the new policy, law enforcement will have the ability to arrest someone who either owns or sells the drug. Attorney General Coleman is leading a group of more than 20 AGs in this policy push. West Virginia has filed a lawsuit against a pharmacy benefit organization over the opioid crisis. Attorney General J.B. McCuskey calls the organization the architect of the crisis in West Virginia. The lawsuit against Express Scripts was filed on Friday. Monday, McCuskey made the announcement saying Express Scripts played a pivotal role in the crisis by its efforts to keep its role hidden from the public.
Was how many people were losing to this crisis. And so the main goal here for me is to get past this issue, have the resources we need to solve the problems that we have so that the stories that are written about West Virginia are, look at our incredible national park system. Look at all of the incredible economic opportunities that we have. And hopefully in the very, very near future, look at what our public schools are doing to produce people who are ready for the new economy. And
McCuskey says Express Scripts conspired with opioid manufacturers to incentivize having them prescribed. Patients can get Ozempic for half the price, but only if you pay in cash. Novo Nordisk, the maker of the diabetes drug, says that patients can now get a month's supply for just under $500. It typically carries a list price around $1,000 a month. That deal is for those who pay for medications on their own and don't go through insurance. The move comes as President Trump is pressuring drug makers to lower drug costs. Approval of the over-the-counter birth control pill is leading to improved access to contraception. An Oregon Health and Science University study found in 2 years since the FDA approved the pill, there's been a 31% increase in people using it among those who previously weren't using any contraceptives. The study's author says this is especially beneficial for Americans with limited access to health care, including minority groups and people from low-income and rural communities. More companies say they're using AI to weed out job applicants, but you can also use the technology to make the application process easier and faster. Experts say AI websites can help tailor your resume and cover letter to every job you apply for. Just copy the job description into the site and ask it to create a cover letter. You'll need to include your experience and why you want that job, but treat this like a first draft. Also, make sure to give your specifics about your personal accomplishments.
What's so important when you're trying to find a job is to show those accomplishments and achievements that you've done, things that you've done that have really had a return to the organization.
They also recommend reaching out to the hiring managers directly to help get your foot in the door. Funding cuts earlier this year are impacting addiction recovery centers across the state, including the Isaiah House, Kentucky's largest nonprofit treatment provider. Leaders say the center has laid off nearly 10% of its staff after Medicaid managed care organizations reduced funding. The cuts affected peer support services, which leaders say are crucial for long-term recovery.
MCOs have basically said that peer support is not important, and so they're no longer covering that.
Peer support will still be offered, but hours are now capped. Isaiah House serves about 3,500 people every year. Coming up on Mountain News at 5:30, allergy season is right around the corner. What health professionals want you to know.
And in the world of weather, rain chances will pick up again starting tomorrow. Details coming up.